Alright, hello guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be reacting to another TikTok food thing because the last one did pretty good. Got 66 views. Let's go ahead and get into it. I don't want to waste your time. Let's go.
Today we're testing TikTok's most viewed food hacks, starting with this French toast hack that uses ice cream, a whole tub of it. Usually people soak French toast bread in a milk and egg mixture. Using a whole carton of ice cream is sacrilege. Dip it on both sides. The ice cream is pretty thick, so it does have a nice coating, but the question is it gonna soak through the bread?
I don't know
to make
about
it
this
nice
one.
and fluffy? That's the true test right there. But then he adds a dash of cinnamon right on top. Instead of a cheese skirt, you get an ice cream skirt. So it does look like the ice cream is soaking through the bread. Oh, ho, ho, ho. That actually looks pretty good. But I think this side needs a dusting of cinnamon too. And as if ice cream is not sweet enough, he adds a drizzle of maple syrup right on top and says this quick and easy French toast is out of this world. One person said, to finish, you can drizzle it with insulin. While someone else said, French vanilla ice cream works even better. With 3.2 million views, this could be good. Let's give it a try. The bread does seem fluffy. There's a nice crust on the French toast. I'd say this hack works, but dessert for breakfast for sure. 7 out of 10. But TikTok has been gone forever.
We'll see about that.
So
I might
keep
test
watching because I found all the craziest hacks for you before they disappear forever. This crispy bacon hack with 3.8 million views.
Dang, that's a lot.
Bacon in water.
Water?
I guess by controlling the cooking process this way, you achieve evenly crisp bacon without getting
I would trust this one.
Like
I would
burnt
trust
bacon
it.
bits. So we'll place the bacon down and then cover it just with enough water and let it evaporate. It appears that we are just boiling our bacon, but what it's doing is rendering out the fat. I'm still skeptical about this. The bacon is curling up, so I'm actually just gonna flip mine. I'll leave this one as is to see if it straightens up. Okay, it looks like the water is evaporating and the one that I did not flip actually did straighten out while the ones that I flipped curled up. But now we're gonna see if it cooks in its own fat. I'm not sure about the actual bacon itself, but the rendered fat is now sticking to the pan and starting to burn. I'm gonna call it early and say this hack is a bust. As this comment said, just toss it in a cold oven at like 425. A slow rise will render the fat and then it comes out crispy. That's how you make crispy bacon. I'm gonna give this hack 3 out of 10. Apparently, I've been dicing an onion
did it wrong
my whole life. You're supposed to start by peeling your onion, slice it in half, then to save my tears for another day, they say that by wetting a paper towel and placing it next to the onions, you can slice it without tearing up. When you cut an onion, it releases a chemical compound which is attracted to water, which is why your eyes tear up when chopping onions. He starts by cutting it into thin slices. Who even has time to do it one at a time? We're gonna stack ours. And then he basically cuts around the radius with the knife pointing around the center. He rotates the onions.
I don't really like onions.
With the knife. Actually, these are really even chops. Whoa. And I'm also not tearing up. New skill unlocked. Paper towel hack gets 10 out of 10. Dicing onion hack, 10 out of 10. This is a super easy 2-ingredient hack where you can turn cheese slices into Cheez-Its. All you have to do is cut them into quarters, and then he places them onto a parchment paper and pokes the holes individually, but I feel like who has time for that? We're gonna poke a hole through all of them right here. Worked like a charm. Now the question is, how do we get the cheese out of the straw? Now he sprinkles some salt on top of the cheese slices, and then he bakes them for 22 minutes at 275 degrees. I guess the salt will stick to the cheese once it melts down a little bit, so I guess the baking process dehydrated the cheese slices, and now it's very holy, so I almost feel like
the cheese slices should be thicker.
Anyways, I'm gonna let it cool for a minute because upon removing it, it's still very soft. Okay, so it's cooled completely, and I transferred it to a plate. It got a lot more crispy. It definitely tastes like cheese, but I wouldn't call it a Cheez-It because it's kind of chewy inside. I think I'd still rather have a Cheez-It. 6 out of 10. This next one is more of a life hack, but with almost 6.5 million views, supposedly you could debone your chicken wings in one swift move. The comments went nuts, and someone said, in my mind, oh god, that was the best thing I have ever seen. These chicken wings have 2 bones, and it looks like she grabs one on each side. Does she already loosen it up? I don't know, but all she does is puts it in her mouth, bites down, and pulls out the bones. Hopefully I don't pull my teeth out with this. Literally just chicken nuggets now. Probably not pretty, but I'm gonna give this hack 8 out of 10. This next hack says never have to poach 1 egg at a time ever again. I can barely poach one, and eggs are hard to find these days, so this better work. But she
What do
says
you mean? They're in grocery stores,
and
bro.
then she cracks like 6 eggs into a measuring cup. I'm just gonna do it with 3. Make sure not to break the yolk. Okay, so once the water starts bubbling, she adds vinegar into it. Then she gives it a nice swirl and slowly pours in each of the eggs. I usually see people straining these stringy white parts, but she goes straight in. They keep hitting each other, and now they're like kind of close together. She just kind of leaves it for 3 minutes, but there's like all these tails. And then for soft-boiled eggs, she says leave it on for 3 minutes. My water looks pretty foamy. Let me look at the eggs real quick. Looks more like cloud eggs than poached eggs right now. To remove them, what she likes to do is she says she just cuts off the tail. Ooh, and then dips it into ice cold water. I feel like poached eggs are always so fragile. I don't want to do anything too aggressive.
I didn't know there was tails on an egg.
If you're eating the poached egg right away, no need to dunk it into ice water. I'm gonna salt and pepper mine. Let's see if we have a perfectly soft poached egg. Super creamy yolk and a soft white. This egg poaching hack gets 9 out of 10. This next hack says that marinating your steak in sparkling water can tenderize it and make the steak juicier. It has almost 10 million views, so let's test it. I have 2 top sirloin steaks right here. One we're gonna leave as is without marinating it, and the other we'll marinate it to see if it actually makes a difference. Nice and fizzy. I'm gonna turn on my grill, let these hang out, while we move on to our next hack. This hack says if you add tea and gelatin, bring it to a boil, and add it to cold oil, you get boba. How gastronomic. How much gelatin, how much water should I do?
Boba.
Rose in a tea bag as the gelatin powder. I feel like I should mix it before turning the heat on so it doesn't get clumpy. Let's get it boiling. So I have some cold oil here, but it looks like it's the same color, so I'm going to dye my gelatin mixture red. Perfect. If this makes poppin' boba, oh my gosh. Then they take a little pipette like this and just drops baby boba into the oil. Wait. It appears to be working because it's sinking down. These are like little baby caviars. Oh, the bottom. I'm gonna strain the oil, so what we have left is the boba in the strainer so I can try it. Will the boba stay intact? I don't know how I feel about oil-laden boba though. Let's just
I don't know about that one.
Got my little boba straw. This actually works. It's a lot softer than a tapioca boba ball and a little smaller, but it has a chew to it, and I am completely amazed that I made this. If only it didn't stick to the strainer like this. 9 out of 10. Alright, our steaks are ready to go, so I have to remove it from the marinade. Pat them both dry, of course. New flavor of the month. Meat soda. Look at the difference in color. Let's season them with salt and pepper and grill it to a perfect medium. I don't like bloody steaks. Our steaks are done, and I'm gonna let them rest a little bit, but I just want to examine them real quick. This is the one that was not marinated, and this is the sparkling water steak. Just looking at them, I see that we have a better crust on the non-marinated one. I put them both on top of the flame source, so I've let it rest for 10 minutes, and this is where it gets interesting. The one that I didn't marinate is leaking a lot more juice, which you would think that it's juicier, but it's actually not because it retained less moisture. And the sparkling water steak, while it did leak a little bit of juice, it doesn't even compare to the amount that was not marinated. Let's cut them both open. Cooked to a perfect medium. The surrounding meat is nowhere near as gray as this one. It still has a little bit of color to it. But let's just taste it to see if it's juicier. Exhibit A, no sparkling water marinade. It's fine. Exhibit B, sparkling water steak. I can't tell the difference in texture, but maybe this one is a tiny little bit juicier. I can't really tell if it works or not. I'm gonna give this hack 5 out of 10. You guys try and let me know. With 15.2 million views, this is an egg separating hack that uses a garlic clove. Apparently, all you're supposed to do is rub your finger on a garlic clove, and then it creates like a non-stick barrier that allows you to pick up the egg yolk without breaking it. What happens if you have nails? So am I just supposed to rub the outside like this, or am I supposed to cut it? Rub it real good. I'm just gonna use my pinch fingers. No! I did not puncture it with my nail, but it totally does not work. I have to try this again. He made it look way too easy. Okay, so he has a really good grip on it. Just picks it up. Is this like a salted cured egg? Ain't no way, because it doesn't work. 3 out of 10, but you guys try it and let me know if it works for you. And now with 29.7 million views, this is a salty potato hack that's supposed to remove the saltiness out of any food with too much salt. So this soup has 61% of your daily value intake with 1,400 milligrams of sodium. Let's just say it's pretty salty. I'm gonna heat this up and see if I can reduce the saltiness in the soup. So I have to peel a raw potato and add it to my soup and cook it for about 15 minutes. And the potato is supposed to absorb the excess salt without altering the taste of your food. But the thing is that this trick is often considered an old wives' tale, so I have to test if it actually works. So I'm gonna scoop out some soup first without the potato, and we're gonna test the saltiness levels side by side later. 15 minutes is up, and the potato looks pretty cooked. Let's try the one without the potato. That is one salty soup. Cleanse my palate. Now let's try the one with the potato. It looks a lot more creamy, a tiny little bit less salty because it's still super salty. But now I wonder if the potato is salty. That's a perfectly seasoned potato. I'm still not convinced with this hack. I'm gonna give it 5 out of 10. Now with the top 3 most viewed TikTok food hacks, we've been shredding cheese all wrong. So instead of shredding cheese like this and potentially shaving off your knuckles or fingers, you're supposed to rotate your box grater like this. Lay it down and shave it away from you like a mandolin. This hack got her 30 million views, and some people said some things are so simple I feel my intelligence is being tested. But wait, it just kind of glides. I do feel like I have more control, but because I'm pushing it so hard, the cheese is coming apart. I might have to agree with the other commenter that said, I'm still doing it the other way. I like the surprise pile of cheese when I move the grater. Oh, almost lost a thumb there. But this pile is so worth it. 7 out of 10. This guy went 30 years before learning you can cut a hard-boiled egg like this by simply rolling it with a knife, and apparently a lot of people didn't know either because it got 31.2 million views. I mean, I wish there was a hack for peeling eggs. He starts with the heel of the knife, punctures it into the egg. I feel like you have to slice it in first, and then I'm doing this with super low pressure, gently, just roll it along the edge of my knife. This is pretty satisfying. Did it work? That's a perfect looking egg right there. Look at that. And you just pop the yolk out. But the comment section was so confused because someone said, and for what reason would I ever need to slice my egg like that for? Well, I guess it's only good for hard-boiled eggs. But someone else was really excited to get the best part, which is the egg whites. But since I need to finish peeling these eggs, I realized there is a hack with 54 million views. All you have to do is apparently crack your eggs at the bottom, and you can peel it in one single swoop with a spoon. This chef guy looks like he cracks the bottom of the egg first to start peeling it, and then he just slides his spoon in between the shell, and apparently it just slides right off. Okay, I think my opening needs to be a little bigger. You gotta do it with confidence. Okay, ready? Go. And then twist it to slide it around. Oh my god, I'm holding my breath for this. You gotta slide it underneath the paper membrane. Easier if I just kind of lift the spoon up. Was this easier than peeling it with my nails? I'm gonna say yes. Do it with confidence. I'm gonna give this hack 8 out of 10. But if you guys like this video, go watch me test more TikTok food hacks.
Alright, that was the end. I guess I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye!